Welcome back to Business Boone, a product of the Boone County Chamber and hosted by Deep in Talent Strategies. I'm Shauna Lake.
And I'm Lauren Byram. And today we are joined by Allysson Gutwein, who is the Executive Director of Discover Boone County. Welcome. How are you?
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we talk a little bit more about, today we're going to talk about why tourism. Okay, I'm sorry. I just got caught up in the moment. I'm sorry.
We're all the same team.
All good.
Yeah.
One for all.
Welcome back to Business Boone, a product of the Boone County Chamber and hosted by Deep in Talent Strategies. I'm Shauna Lake.
And I'm Lauren Byram. And today we are joined by Allysson Gutwein, who is the Executive Director of Discover Boone County. Welcome. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Great. Thank you for coming. So today we're going to explore the real impact of tourism and why it's everybody's I don't want to say problem, but why it's everybody's business to know about tourism.
It sure is.
Not just the hotels and the restaurants, but for the entire community to really get involved and understand why it's important. So thank you for joining us. But before we jump in, one thing we like to ask all of our guests is, if your life was titled a movie, what would the title be?
I had to really think about this one.
Yeah.
And I settled on the unfinished chapter.
Okay.
Because I actually came into this field of work later in life. And I really think that a lot of people look at careers and go, well, I haven't done that yet. You know, I'm almost 50. This is something that...
I'm sorry, I think your hair is some that we're having a mic problem.
Oh, okay.
Welcome back to Business Boone, a product of the Boone County Chamber and hosted by Deep in Talent Strategies. I'm Shauna Lake.
And I'm Lauren Byram. And today we are joined by Allysson Gutwein, who is the Executive Director of Discover Boone County. And we are going to explore the real impact of tourism and why it's important not just to the business owners, but also to the community. So welcome.
Hi.
Thank you for coming.
Thank
and
you for having
being
me.
here.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So one thing we like to ask all of our guests is, if your life was a movie, what would the title of that movie be?
Sure. I actually, I thought about this for a little while, and I went with the unfinished chapter because I feel like a lot of people, you know, you come into a new career kind of midlife, and there's a lot of folks that go, gosh, I haven't done anything like this before. Why should I enter this field?
Sure.
And for me, I really found a lot of interest in tourism, and I feel like this is an area that has a lot of overlap with some of my previous careers, but I hadn't done it yet myself. And with tourism, it's certainly something that a lot of people are finding out more about here in Boone County and understanding more of the impact. And the unfinished chapter is certainly kind of a metaphor for my life and for my work career, and that's exciting to me. There is more to the story.
I love that. I love that so much.
That's exciting. I want to hear more about the unfinished chapter of tourism in Boone County, but let's hear more about the life of Allysson first. Tell us a little bit more about you and your background.
Sure. So I came to Indiana from Springfield, Missouri, and I actually studied at Indiana University, graduated in 2000, and excited to see what's going on right now with the football team. I've cheered on a number of years of really tough football to watch. But, you know, being here in Boone County, I've had a few different career paths. Before this, I was actually the Chamber of Commerce Director for Zionsville, and then I moved into tourism, and I was on the board for the Boone County Chamber of Commerce for a number of years. I love this community, and I love to see where it's going. I really am excited about tourism and the next steps that we have in this area, because there's just so much here for people to learn and understand. And for me and my background, I think that it's something that I'm excited to kind of drive this forward and get more people excited and interested in it.
So for our listeners who may not be familiar or, about Discover Boone County or about Boone County in general, could you kind of talk to us about what Discover Boone County does and how that fits into the bigger picture of community development and tourism?
Yeah. So Discover Boone County has actually been around for 21 years. And it was previously known as the Boone County Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Okay.
We changed the name and made it really a call to action. And we want to get people interested in what's going on here, so we wanted them to discover our county.
Yeah.
That changed really how people were perceiving our organization. We kind of had this whole brand refresh, and it became, what are we doing to get people excited and interested in our county? There's a lot of reasons why people travel, and some of them are recreational, many of them are coming here for business. But while they're here, we want them to play and explore and find things to do, be patrons of our businesses here in the community. And a tourist, by definition, is someone who's coming from more than 50 miles away, going to a point of interest and staying for more than 3 hours. So these aren't people that are just passing through, maybe stopping for lunch, but they are coming here with the intent to spend time in Boone County. So our job is to really draw them here, or if they're coming here for a purpose like a business event, what can we do to keep their business dollars in Boone County?
Thank you. It's kind of building on that idea of tourism. I think some of us think about being a tourist as going on vacation, maybe taking a weekend getaway. As you just said, sometimes it might be for business travel. What are some of the ripple effects of tourism for businesses in the community?
Well, and as people come into our hotels, we want them to think of Boone County first. If they're already here, how can we keep that economic impact? How can we keep that dollar in Boone County? So Discover Boone County is actually providing guides and information that is going into our hotels, information that we're sharing with our business partners in order to make sure that those guests feel like they understand what they can do in Boone County and what's available to them around their hotels. So if they need to have something catered, reach out to us. If they need to have a business meeting, where can they go to put that money back into the Boone County community? That's what we're here to help as a partner with in order to make sure that people are utilizing Boone County resources first.
Yeah. So obviously there's an overall theme of this episode. It's tourism. So what business is of yours? So let's put the question out to you. So why should your business, or every business, from banks to boutiques, really get involved and care about tourism in general?
Tourism every day brings in $100,000 in economic impact in Boone County.
Every day?
Every day.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
And a lot of people don't realize that.
No.
Some of that's direct impact in our hotels. In fact, this year we've had a hotel occupancy that's risen as high as 84%. Our hotels are really thriving in Boone County. So a lot of people want to come alongside and be partners of our hotels and our businesses to make sure that, again, that economic impact is being driven here locally. But ultimately, we want to see Boone County thrive. So what do people know about Boone County whenever they come here? Are we sharing that information? Are other businesses sharing information, even on peer businesses, where people can go in order to, again, create that ripple effect, create the economic driver that tourism really is whenever people come in and they don't just go to, let's say, a Colts game where they go out of the county and come back. Let's keep them here for even longer. If they're here for a day, let's extend that to 2 days. Let's make sure that they're dining and playing in Boone County.
I had no idea that there was that $100,000 a day impact. That's incredible.
Yes, it is.
That's amazing.
Well, and we only anticipate that growing. Boone County has been growing leaps and bounds in tourism. And with that incredibly high occupancy, we see more in sports tourism. In fact, for many years, our top 3 visited places by tourists were wedding destinations. So we know that people are coming to Boone County year-round specifically for those type of events.
Yeah.
Well, while they're here, what are we getting them interested in? What do they want to come back for? We also found out that more than 50% of people, while they're here, are choosing to engage in an outdoor activity, which I think a lot of people are surprised by as well, because we don't necessarily have a mountain or a beach or a reason why people are going to come here as an outdoor kind of driver for tourism, but it is. And some of our new programming is actually going to focus on that and have that as a more integral component.
Yeah.
That's also very exciting. With all of the rapid growth and expansion of tourism in Boone County, how do you and how does Discover Boone County think about balancing that with preserving the character and the community that we already have and that people value of Boone County today?
I think a lot of people understand that the growth is going to be occurring, especially with the businesses that are going to be driving people to this area, not only as people who are going to be living here in the future, but all the folks that are going to be visiting them as guests, all the people that will be coming here as business tourists. Having a mindful plan about what is needed and what we think will be a strong, sustainable way to grow, especially whenever it comes to hotels. If we have an 85% occupancy, 70% on the year overall, people obviously need hotels, but where are we going to put them? What do we need to come alongside as another partner for people to want to come to Boone County and spend their money here or have meetings here or have a meeting space here? All of those things we are actually a little light on in Boone County. So we know that we're going to have more of them. Where they go, how they're positioned, how we speak to the community about them is all part of that growth plan.
Yeah. One thing you said that resonated with me is people who come to have their weddings there. Well, I came to Boone County to have my wedding. That was many years ago, but I can tell you then there wasn't enough hotels, so they've grown since then. So
They sure have.
yeah, they have. So many of our listeners are business owners or local leaders. What are some practical ways that they could help or discover or support Discover Boone County, even if they're not part of the hospitality industry?
Sure. Well, there's a lot of businesses that we know can benefit from tourists coming to the area that aren't necessarily directly related to the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
People want to come and engage with a small business and take home something that's small, meaningful from where they've gone. That might be a business on the square of Lebanon or in downtown Whitestown or in downtown Zionsville or in one of our emerging communities of Advance, Thorntown, or Jamestown. People want that small experience. Small travel, slow travel is becoming more and more interesting to people. They want to go someplace that's different than where they've come from and bring something home with them. So partnering with Discover Boone County, sharing what your business does, sharing where guests can go, even sharing as much as your business hours or events that you have going on, that'll help us put it on our website, share it on social media, get the news out about what is Boone County, what's the heartbeat of where people can go whenever they want something that says, I've been to this great community, I'm going to take this home with me.
I tend to take the back roads rather than going on the highway, so I'm one of your slower travelers.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
We tend to thinking about those little mementos. We tend to get a Christmas ornament from each
Yes.
new place that we go to.
Yep.
As an example.
I do the very same thing. And in fact, whenever Discover Boone County puts up their first Christmas tree this year, we're having ornaments on it that are either from two places. Well, yes. Places where Discover Boone County staff has been, or from Boone County itself. We did have during our open house the availability for people to write a little message and put it inside an ornament. We'll never even read these. They're just kind of well wishes that we know
Yeah.
will be on our tree for the future.
That's really cool.
That's really exciting. As we look out and to see what's on the horizon for Discover Boone County, are there any events or initiatives that you're particularly excited about for 2026 and beyond?
Yes, actually, we just started an initiative that's based out of a program that they have in Kauai. So Kauai had this wonderful partnership with their Humane Society, where people coming to the island could take a dog out with them on a hike. And then at the end of the day, they bring the dog back, but the dog has been out of the shelter, the pet has been given exercise, they're probably a little more adoptable because they're a little more relaxed. Whenever we realized that more than 50% of people were engaging in an outdoor activity here in Boone County, we said, we should start some program like that here. So in 2026, we're starting the Here to Home program, which is in coordination with the Boone County Humane Society. We want to see animals adopted, but we also want to see animals that have had time out of the shelter, are a little more adoptable because they are relaxed, and those guests that are coming here have something to go home and talk to their friends about and say, there's this really great partnership that they have in Boone County. Let's see what else the community has.
Or they might go home with a dog for Boone.
That would be great too.
Yeah.
As a volunteer for the Humane Society, I'm just like, my heart's about ready to burst, and I love that very much.
Yes.
Very exciting.
So we like to wrap up by asking our guests, what is one thing that you would have loved to have known in your earlier career that you know now?
You know, I really hope people understand that if they're, especially in the nonprofit space, they need to do their homework with people that they need to engage as partners early. Whether those are legislators, whether those are business leaders in the community, they have to build relationships very early on. Don't come to a legislator during session and expect for them to understand what platform you are there to represent, as they're listening to 50 other platforms and they're hearing from 100 constituents a day. You have to build relationships in any sort of business in order to make sure that people understand what you're doing and why.
Yeah, that's great advice. It truly is.
Terrific advice. Thank you.
So if our listeners wanted to get in contact with you, how can they do that?
Sure. They can reach out to info@discoverboonecounty.com. discoverboonecounty.com, or they can reach out to discoverboonecounty.com. That's our website. We would love to see people come through there, or find us and interact with us on social media.
Okay.
This has been a great conversation, Allison. Thank you so much
Thank you for having
joining
me.
us.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
This has been terrific. And we will be back with more insightful conversations. Until next time, continue growing and leading with purpose.